There are 16 vowels. There are 16 goddesses. Antar Matra, Bahir Matra. Okay? Now, they're not actually, you'll notice, I'm glad I remembered to point this out, you'll notice that they are not actually given on the petals. I'm not sure why, but they should be, and they usually are in this chakra. We also have the Hamsa again, a common repeated trope, because the Hamsa, of course, represents the wind power, the Ha of out breath, the Sa of in breath, fused together in breath pause, in which we generate these characters, these mantras, these syllables up through the central channel. I've spoken of that at length, so I won't go into it further. Although it's worth mentioning that though the Hamsa is here, you'll notice the Hamsa is, of course, not the deity, nor is, which is Supreme Soul, the essence, the divinity here, nor is the Hamsa given as the Shakti, which is avidya. But we're beyond mere form here. We're talking about pure sonic breath power of the vowels. Okay, we have Vidya, she who is the power of wisdom or the power of cognition, the power of awakened consciousness expansion. And she is the power we invoke with the long av. So we have and then in our pranayama. Avidya. Well, we saw her, just as we saw Uma repeated in Anahata as the main Shakti and then replicated onto one of its petals. Same here. Vidya is our main Shakti, ignorance. But in this case, this is a guess. But as we look through these texts more and study more and unpack more of this, I think we'll find that when you have goddess powers that represent aspects of emotional or mental awareness that would seem to be contracting or unpleasant, like ignorance. The understanding commonly is that you are invoking her to dispel that ignorance. Vidya would be dispelled to further or increase the wisdom or the insight you're experiencing already about something. But avidya, is to quell the power of ignorance, to give her flowers, to say it's okay that I don't understand everything. It's okay that I'm not perfect in every way. And in this sense, we don't ask her to stay around or give us more ignorance. We're bowing to the fact that we are spiritual children in adult bodies learning to walk. When we let go of constantly trying to become better, we don't know everything, then we create that space for this practice in that quiescence of the mind. Give the mind less to think about. And we have Ing, Icha Shakti, she who is the power of desire, the power of Shiva's desire in a grander sense, in the Maha sense, to experience his own awakening as you through Shakti, or a more mundane desire. When our desires are overwhelming us, when perhaps they don't feel like they're going to lead to real fulfillment, but rather pain, then we can bow to Icha Shakti as this mantra, our own inner power, to say that the desire that I have is not actually for the target of my senses. It's not for that person. It's not for that object. It's not for that possession. But rather, what I'm ultimately desiring is happiness and peace, is the sense of fulfillment that I often think comes from attainment, from the stuff to put in my house while I go out and get more stuff, right? As Carlin says. Instead, what if I generate an acceptance that I desire? Forget the object for a moment. And when I invoke this power, I'm saying it's okay that I'm a desirous being, but is it in my highest and best to go after this target of desire? Oh, Mother, lead me to what I truly desire as I grasp at the objects and things and people out there in the world that I'm probably manifesting half the time, right? Kriya Shakti is she who is that power of creativity, of new creative power in our life endeavors. Ooh, these sound quite similar. Short ooh. Jnana Shakti, the power of insight into my life situation. Then long ooh. Om. Shitala, she who is the power of gentleness. This is short vocalic R. It's not the semi-vowel R, but rather it is the R that fills the place of a vowel, like the R with a dot under it in Sanskrit. That's actually a vowel, that R. Crit, crit, crit. So short. Mahavidya, she who is the power of transcendent wisdom, the wisdom that goes beyond ordinary insight, but is the perception or insight into the soul, supreme awareness. Long, I had to capitalize it on the diacritic mark, but the long version of the same vowel. This is short, R with a dot, short case there, lowercase. This is long. Ring. Mahamaya. I bow to the power of great illusion in the midst of suffering. I bow to the power of great illusion also, who is responsible for the delightful experience of embodiment that I chose. May I accept this body, its physical form, its mental form. May I never bow to pure contraction, but rather see contraction, the illusion of my life that I might be in, the delusion that I am only because I have this set of values, or I will only be happy if I become this sort of person. I bow to you, O great Maya, the mother who has created this whole universe, the Maya of all beings, the delusion of all beings. May you be the conduit for the dissolution. May you be the conduit for me accepting the power and beauty of yourself as this name and form that I am and that I wear, without letting me wallow in the ignorance that this is all that I am, this mind and this body. Short L, L with a dot under it, that is, vocalic L, is she who is the power of abundance. Long, Tamasa, I bow to the darkness within me, or the darkness, to she who is the power of darkness when I'm ready to step into the life that is waiting, and I don't know where this foot will land. The darkness, as that great trope says, you'll find the step that you thought might be a cliff waiting for you as you step into the darkness of unknowing. Maitri, she who is the power of cultivating friendship or bowing to friendship in my life. Friendship with myself, first of all, perhaps. Maitrayani, there we go. Maitrayani. She who is the power that attracts friendship in life, friendship with the self, self-acceptance perhaps. And then finally, this is Om in the context of the letter O. Again, we're in a sense ignoring this M as we read it, but we're activating it because we want to draw the vowel through the crown. So this isn't the syllable Om, it's the vowel O fused to the Anuswara, which sounds, of course, it is Om when we hear it. But it's to say that we're honoring that vowel in and of itself, represented by the goddess Kumari. She was the power of renewed life, of the power of youth. So I don't have to say back in my day. So I don't have to say my beauty is in the past, perhaps, or that the past was greater. The past doesn't exist. There is only now. And you see the youngest looking old people sometimes, or the most youthful spirit in those who are physically older. These people that live in the moment. Age and disease is almost always due to the mind's addictive preoccupation with either past and future. Renew me, O Kumari, you who are the vowel O. Renew me into the youthfulness and the youthful spirit, which is what the ultimate Shakti is, ever renewing. Aung Raudri, she who is the power of the ferocity or the courage of this embodiment of mine, of life itself, or the ferocity that's kicking my ass in life, the ferocity of life, right? Mercury in retrograde kind of consciousness. Well, I bow to that power. What do I have to learn from you? And finally, we have the actual Anuswara, sometimes with an A before it, just the B sound straight out, which is in fact a vowel made in the palate, but on the wings of out breath. Actually, there should be an here, but we already had an so I left it out. This is just pure Anuswara. Purna Shakti. Hung. She who is the power of fullness, Perfect, right? Because this is the seed point out of which all energy consciousness bursts forth into the body as in-breath. It is this seed, this little dot underneath, that represents the coiled power bursting forth as out-breath. And then finally, aha, this is pronounced. This is called the Visarga. It's the last technical vowel in Sanskrit, and it is correlated with the in-breath, the sound of respiration. But the sound before the cycle of breath is generated. The Visarga is also, of course, found on a lot of the end of nouns, like shantihi when we chant shanti, shanti, shantihi. It hiccups the vowel before. So it sounds like this. That last little jolts you or breaks through the palate knot in the crown. Simhani is her name, she who is the power of a lioness, the power that roars forth the spirit of Rudra, that in this moment I accept, enter, and deserve the birthright of my freedom to feel the power of awakening in this body. With you, O 16 mothers, O Shodashi Kundalini, manifested as these 16 Matrika mothers. With you, I live the immortal life, and I have the potential of experiencing my greatest dreams here in this body. You are the powers responsible. Beautiful. And with that, we bid you a wonderful good night. Let's chant one Om and one Shreem. First exhaling the serpent breath, releasing all we've heard tonight, trusting we retain what we need, and knowing that we could always plunge into the ocean again by replaying this and meditating deeper. So we release. Oh.